Hi friends, Kevin here, your Sacramento, Stockton area realtor and lender, here with this week's weekly real estate report. Well, let's take a look at the chart and see what's happening in real estate for this week. All right, drawing your attention right here to the median list price. We have definitely, well, what goes up must come down, and we are slowly working our way down on the median list price. Now, last several weeks, it's really been kind of around the 630 mark, 630, 629, 634. So we're holding right there. It's not coming down really fast the last several weeks. We had kind of a drop. Now it's sort of plateaued out again. But I think we're going to see some changes in that. More on that in a second. All right, so now let's taking a look at the median sold price. I think last week this data point was up a lot more. It did come down like I said it would, but this week that came in right at 569. This week we dropped down to 557. Of course, we'll have to wait and see what the data shows for next week, but I really think that it just stands to reason, right? If the median list price is dropping, we're going to see the median sold price come down just as well. So we can look for more of, I think, of a trend of that going down. All right, so inventory is definitely climbing. Without a doubt, you can see that the pending sales are dropping off for their seasonal drop off. That's what's going to happen. So anyway, but let's talk about rates and what's going on with rates. So Freddie Mac came out this week and said that the average mortgage rate for the week that we just had was 7.63. Now that's up from 5.57. So where are rates going to go? Well, as we've talked about already, the Fed is kind of on the fence about whether or not to raise rates. But if you watch this, you know that the Fed does not control mortgage rates. That is something that is done more on the open market. And it has a lot to do with the 10-year Treasury yield. So right now, watching the 10-year Treasury yield, last week it was 4.65. This week it's 4.95. So the yield on the Treasury has gone up. And as we've talked about before, that is what investors are going to get. So investors have a choice to make. Should they buy the Treasury or should they put it in mortgage-backed securities? Well, if you're going to get more money in Treasuries, which are in theory a little more secure, then that's what you would do. So for mortgage-backed securities, then you have to raise that rate to entice investors to come over there. So looking at that, we see that the Treasury yield has gone up to nearly 5%. Now, historically, the spread between the two has been about 1.5% to 2%, but right now it's actually at 3%. So if we're looking at a spread of 3% or a difference of 3%, well, it doesn't take a calculator to see that we're at 4.95. Let's call it 5%, and the spread is 3. 5 plus 3, that is 8. So I think that we're going to see 8% here next week or in the very near future, unless there's some significant change happens. So 8% mortgage rates, I think that just the number alone is going to scare off people. When we got into 6, a lot of people backed off. So I'm not paying 6. Then we got into 7, and certainly have a lot of people not paying 7. Now I think we're going to see people saying, well, we better jump in before it gets any worse. Some people may say, hey, I'm not paying 8. But anyway, that is definitely going to have an effect on your payment, obviously. And that is going to affect buyers' capability to buy, which is going to bring down home prices even further. Excuse me. Now, as I said before, last week I believe I said this, that all it takes is for all the buyers take a step back and say, well, if prices are falling, why would I buy now? So I'm going to take a step back and see what happens. Well, if everybody takes a step back to see what happens and nobody's going to be buying anything, or very few people, and that is going to cause sellers to go into a bit of a panic mode, drop their prices rapidly, which of course creates a snowball effect where buyers even say, well, if it's dropping this fast, let's really wait and see. So I think we're kind of on the brink of seeing something, I don't want to say catastrophic, but a significant change in the real estate market here coming up. So that's my take on it. Hope you have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you here next week. Take care. Bye.